So when I was 9 years old, I saw the future. I went, oh my goodness, that's all I have to do? And my rich dad said, yeah, that's all you have to do. So I was 9 years old, and then he took me out and he actually showed me his 4 greenhouses, what represented it. And then when I was 19, just 10 years later, I came back, I went to school in New York, and I came back from school, and my rich dad had bought the big red hotel right in the middle of Waikiki Beach. And I realized that my rich dad was playing the game of Monopoly in real life, and today, that's what I do, is I build companies as an entrepreneur, and I play Monopoly here, 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. The problem with Monopoly, it doesn't go into this here. This is called a financial statement, which is the key to financial literacy. So the reason games are so powerful is we just found this piece of information. It came out in 1969, and it's called the cone of learning. And what the cone of learning says is the worst way to learn is via reading. Again, this is 1969. This is not my chart. And the second worst way to learn is via lecture. And our schools, the reason I found schools so boring was I'm not a very good reader, and I don't like listening for too long. So that's the worst way. And so a lot of times when they say a student is smart, they're probably good readers, and they like sitting there and listening, which is not my way. I like to do things. Now, the same gentleman, Dale, in 1969, found that the best way to learn is doing the real thing. So for me, I learn a lot by going out and actually investing and building companies. But they said the second most important thing, according to this gentleman, Dale, in 1969, who's also a teacher, he said the second best way to learn is via a game, a simulation. So that's why we created the cash flow game. It's a lot harder than Monopoly, a lot more complex, but it's very close to the real thing. So if I could review it again here, is reading and lecture is the worst way to learn, but that's what we do in our schools, and that's why so many kids like me just jump out the window, I'm so bored, I didn't want to be there. But playing a game actually got me all engaged. I really wanted to learn. And in doing the real thing, one of the reasons so many people who do well in school do not do well in the real world, on the street here, is because our schools teach you not to make mistakes. So how can you learn anything if you don't make mistakes? You can't learn to ride a bicycle if you don't fall off one time. You can't play soccer if you don't make some mistakes some of the time. So the reason a lot of times people who do really well in school, because they can read and listen to lectures, don't do well in the real world, is because